First, why don't we start with a victory? That's a good place to start. Sometimes if you rattle the cage loud enough, those who know they're in the wrong have to eventually right that wrong. Not always, which is why we have more than enough to rattle every single night here on Sky News, but sometimes we get a victory. And in the case of keeping the disappearance and probable detention of Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai in full public view, we've had a win. Now, you'll recall what happened over the weekend at the Australian Open when tennis fans dared to wear T-shirts and they even held up a banner, goodness, that simply asked the question, where's Peng Shuai? And security and police moved in. The banner was disposed of and the T-shirts had to be removed. Senate hopeful and activist Drew Pavlou told us last night that organisers declared the display out of order because it was political.
It's not political. It's not election material. It's not like it's a banner saying, you know, all praise is due to the great father, Mark McGowan of Western Australia. It's not a banner saying down with ScoMo. This is just a banner. These are shirts and banners that are just simply asking the same question that Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, the Women's Tennis Association have asked. People just want to know where Peng Shuai is. It's sickening that the Australian Open would put its Chinese corporate sponsorship before the life of Peng Shuai.
Even tennis icon Martina Navratilova called the way Tennis Australia came down hard on this group as pathetic. Drew Pavlou told us he'd raised $12,000 in a GoFundMe appeal, which he said would pay for more free T-shirts for any Australian Open fan. The first of those new shirts were being handed out before play began at Melbourne Park today. And I've got to say, the pressure on Australian Open organisers was building to overturn what is a ridiculous stance. Drew had a ministerial ally in his corner as well. This morning on Sky News, Defence Minister Peter Dutton was all for supporting the players' cause.
I think it's deeply concerning, and I think we should be speaking up about these issues. And I'd encourage not just celebrities, but tennis organisations, including Tennis Australia. WTA, I think, has been very good in relation to it, but other governments and other bodies, we need to speak as one voice on this.
And so, with hundreds of banned T-shirts being worn today, legends turning on Tennis Australia again, and some heavy-hitting words from a Cabinet Minister, Tournament Director Craig Tiley had no choice but to roll over. The greatest backflip of the summer. He released a statement saying the T-shirts would be permitted as long as they are not coming as a mob to be disruptive but are peaceful. It hasn't been a good month for Craig Tiley. He'll be having nightmares about the names Novak Djokovic and Peng Shuai for quite some time. You can't start showing your concern for a missing tennis star, as they did, and then disallow your own paying supporters to express their own concerns. Seriously, as soon as that first T-shirt was worn, Tennis Australia showed itself up as being grossly hypocritical. If the $25 million in annual sponsorship through Chinese companies vanished from the Open because of it, well, so be it. Australians and Australian sporting and corporate entities need to stop being major pushovers when it comes to Chinese government money and power. Oh, and by the way, where the hell is Peng Shuai? What an international disgrace the Chinese government is.